I'm turning it over to Liang to details CBI's onboarding strategies and mutual bank accounts offerings for today's business.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Yeah, I'm very happy to share my insights about the offshore banking and the introduction about the CBI Bank, right? So first, let me give a very brief introduction about myself. So my name is Liang, so Ding Liang. I lead the Global Business Development Department and the Corporate Strategy Department at CBI Bank. So typically, I spend a lot of time around the world, so talking to our partners, clients, and introduce them our banking products. Yeah, that's pretty much about myself. So today, I'm going to spend my time on these two parts. So first, I would like to share some foundations about the offshore banks. What's the difference between offshore bank accounts versus the Hong Kong local accounts, and etc. And second, I'm going to give a introduction on CBI Bank. Right. So that's two parts. So let's jump into the first section. Okay, so the first section is basics about the offshore accounts, right? So people mention the offshore banking accounts a lot, right? So basically people say this bank is an offshore bank, like CBI Bank is an offshore bank, HSBC is a local bank, and etc. etc. This is actually, I wouldn't say it's wrong, but it's actually somewhat not precise description. So let's say for individual, right? For individual, offshore bank account is the one that you own in a different country than the country you live in, or than your passport country, right? That's what we call the offshore bank account for individual. For corporate, it's similar. The idea is similar. If the corporate has an account which is opened in a different country rather than the jurisdiction the company is incorporated, then we say it's an offshore account. Then we can see like the offshore, the term is used to describe the actually the particular bank account is not for a bank. So it's hard to say like a bank is offshore, but we should say, oh, this bank account is offshore and another bank account is onshore. That's how we understand the term offshore, right? So basically, if we go to HSBC, I mean HSBC Hong Kong, I mean I'm living in Beijing, mainland China, right? So if I open an account in HSBC there, I get an offshore account for myself. But it's hardly to say HSBC is an offshore bank. So that's just not correct, right? And the similar idea applies to CBI Bank. So many people talk about CBI Bank, saying like CBI Bank is an offshore bank. Normally, I would not correct them because 80% of our clients or 80% of our bank accounts are from clients not in US. So from this point of view, so they are offshore accounts. However, we also have like about 20% of our clients who are companies incorporated in US or the US citizens. Then for those type of clients or accounts, so they are actually onshore accounts. So that's sort of the definition or the terminology of the offshore, right? So next, I would like to talk about why clients need offshore accounts. Here are a couple of advantages and disadvantages if we compare the offshore accounts versus the Hong Kong local banks. Four advantages, I'm going to talk through them. The first one is typically offshore accounts allows you to do easier international transactions. So especially for those clients who are in countries with foreign exchange control. In those countries, it's very hard to move, let's say, US dollars into the border or outside of the border. So if you have a banking account in Hong Kong or in US, it's actually allow you to transfer your money freely. But apparently, this is not. I mean, Hong Kong doesn't have such restrictions, so this is not for Hong Kong companies. The second advantage is that offshore accounts typically provide flexible onboarding and transaction policies. I wouldn't say every offshore accounts has this advantage, but many businesses or many individuals looking for offshore accounts for the flexibility. And for example, if your business is a crypto-related business, or if your business is like a consulting business, service business, it's sort of hard to get a local account. Then you should consider offshore accounts, because there are so many banks. Some of them are specialized in your business, and they're happy to serve your demands. Although it's offshore accounts, this should be fine. The third one is a tax efficient arrangement. So typically, you have companies. I mean, you have a complex structure of your business, and each companies in the structure should have a bank account, and some of them should have offshore accounts for the benefits of tax management. Basically, for this part, I wouldn't say. I mean, it's sort of complicated, right? So you should always ask your tax advisor for the arrangement, because this is totally legal if you arrange this appropriately. However, it's also complex if you do this by yourself, right? The last one is about the privacy and asset protection. Many clients just want additional privacy for their wealth, especially for those. I mean, let's talk about the CRS, right? The common reporting standard, right? So a lot of countries entered into an agreement. They agreed to share the information about the bank users for the tax purpose, right? In terms of this, United States or not one of those CRS participants. So United States, I mean, banks in United States never exchange information with other countries in the world. So this is a sort of the privacy part. So those four are advantages you can commonly get from the offshore accounts. So let's talk about the other side, right? The other side, there are several considerations you should know before you open an offshore accounts. So the first one is the cost is typically higher for both onboarding fee and management fee. Let's say if you open a HSBC with a Hong Kong company, they only charge you like a minimum onboarding fee, right? So if you go to a Hong Kong HSBC with a Cayman Island company, they may not accept those, and even if they do accept your application, they charge you a lot, just like 10 times higher than a Hong Kong company. Okay, the first one is higher cost. The second one is typically you get less customer experience from offshore accounts. The underlying reason is that most offshore accounts are provided by smaller banks, so they are not those international banks, so like HSBC, so like a Bank of America. So many of them are smaller banks, so they simply do not have the capability, they do not have the personnel to provide you a top-level customer experience. And their banking facility is typically not as good as those huge banks. So for example, the transactions may take longer. So it takes 2 days for HSBC to get your money from US to Hong Kong, but it may take 5 days if you are using offshore accounts. Also, it might be harder to get connection to a banker, to talk to a banker if you have any troubles in your transaction. So those are, happens in a lot of offshore banks. The last one is the security concerns, right? So because there are simply so many banks in the world. So if I remember it correctly, so there are like 50-something thousand banks in the world. So we simply cannot guarantee every bank is put the security of your wealth as a top consideration. So basically, for this part, if you are looking for offshore accounts, So you should always seek professional advice. So like AsiaBC, so they provide some advice, and choose reputable banks with a strong record. So that can safeguard your wealth from any risk. Okay, so that's the first part, right? That's the first part. The some fundamentals of the offshore accounts, and then I'm going to give an introduction about the CBI Bank. The CBI Bank is registered in US. So basically, we are regulated by the Federal Reserve. And the second tier regulator is the state administrator. So basically, we are in the US financial system. So which is one of the most complicated but most safe systems in the world, right? And we mainly serve small and medium businesses, and we serve their cross-border financial demands. That's our specialties. So, some quick facts about CBI Bank. We have a network globally, so we work with 120 banks and financial institutions to serve our clients. We connected to 116 countries. Basically, we cover most countries, so except those sanctioned by US. I mean, for example, Russia, North Korea, and etc. Basically, except those countries, we can serve all others. We support 20 plus e-commerce platform. Let's say the Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and etc. We support 10 plus major currencies. You can mention it's the US dollars, Hong Kong dollars, euros, pounds, and etc. And by now we have over 70,000 clients. So basically, this is I mean, the bank is established at 2017. So we are 7-8 years old. So basically, the bank is growing very fast. So we get new clients, a lot of new clients every year, and currently we have 70,000 clients so far. Okay. So next, I'm going to share some underlying capabilities which allow us to serve global clients. Basically, it's not easy to do the cross-border finance. We have to have certain capabilities to do this business. So the first is we have various licenses from different countries. So basically, we have our bank licenses on United States, and we have a payment license in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Europe, and etc. So the full set of financial licenses allow us to serve clients from all over the world. So it's not easy to get those licenses. So this is sort of our first core capabilities, which we built across 5 years. And our second core capability is that we build a network of partners to serve our clients. In terms of banks, so we work with banks from all different countries, which help us to support different currencies, to support the transactions into different continents, right? And we are also members of UnionPay, members of Visa and the MasterCard, and we work with a lot of brokers in case you do those US stock. We also work with Amazon, eBay, and those e-commerce platforms. Basically, in order to do those cross-border business, even those huge players like HSBC, like Citi, so they cannot cover all those countries, all those currencies by their own. So basically, we need the partners to help us to do all those currency settlements. That's what we build over past a few years. This is our second core capabilities. So let's see the third one. So the third one is technology. So basically, the technology is how all the newly established banks like us, how we compete with those legacy players like HSBC and many others. technology allows us to streamline all our internal and external processes and automate those processes. So which firstly can make all the process very fast. So let me give you an example. So if you set up a corporate account, right? If you go to HSBC, it takes like 1 month or 2 months to get your accounts ready. But here it takes only like 5 business days to get your account ready. And the second is that the technology allow us to save a lot of people, back office people here, and help us to save costs, and we're going to pass the cost advantage to our clients. So basically it saves money for our clients. So this is a technology. So we have a strong technology team with 100 persons. We built our system for like quite a couple of years. So those are 3 core capabilities from us, and build on those capabilities, right? So we provide a suite of products and services to our clients. So here, I mean, on this picture, our products and services can be put into 3 layers, right? The first layer, I would say, the core banking functions or payment services. So it included the international money transfer, currency exchange, cash management, and the personal card, business card, etc. So basically, every commercial bank provides similar services like this. So I wouldn't put too much time here. So the second layer is some business solution, so which differentiate us quite a bit. Given that most of our clients are small businesses, so they are doing cross-border business between, let's say, between China and the US, or between Hong Kong and Europe, right? So they do need particular solutions in their business scenarios. So let's say we provide those e-commerce payment collection. So if they're doing a B2C e-commerce in Amazon, on eBay or Walmart, so we do provide those payment collection services. We also provide the settlement of the Chinese yuan. So basically, if you earn dollars, you want to move those dollars into mainland China, we have sort of one-stop solution to help you to sort of all the paperwork, regulations, and etc. So you make those money move back to China legally. We also help our clients to manage their payroll. If they want to set up the individual accounts for their employees, they can manage all the payrolls through our banking platform. So, I mean, the fundamental idea is like, if we see some demand from our clients in small business, so we try to integrate those solutions into our banking platform and provide our clients a one-stop solution. So that's our philosophy of our business. And the third layer is for individuals. I call it advanced financial services. So the reason for this layer is that many clients or small business, the business owner are typically high net worth individuals. So they do have the demand of global asset management, set up family trust, and etc. So basically, a lot of clients come to us and ask our bank and say, well, whether I can invest in US, so I want to buy a house there, or whether I can set up a trust here. So we do have all those financial licenses, so like insurance, like trust, like a broker, and etc. And then we put all those services in one package and offer them to our clients, right? So basically, those are 3 layers of products we can offer, which should solve most of the questions from the small businesses. I have one more page. So have understood our capabilities, have understood our products. I would like to highlight a couple of features which differentiate CBI Bank from any other banks in the world, right? There are 5 features. So the first one is CBI Bank is very friendly to most companies. So let's say, again, I keep using HSBC as an example, right? So HSBC, they don't like the startups, So they don't like some service companies, consulting companies, or companies from not from Hong Kong, right? So if you come with BVI companies, it's very complicated to get HSBC accounts. For us, we take all those applications. So we serve clients from various industries. So we serve clients from most jurisdictions with different company structures and etc. The second one is we have an extremely fast onboarding process. As I mentioned, all of our boarding process is taken care online. So you can literally be anywhere in the world. You can just do a video interview with our compliance team and then get the account ready to use. The whole process takes only 5 to 7 business days. So if it's urgent to get some money into your account, right, or sign some agreement, contract, you should definitely consider us. So we get you back in 5 to 7 business days. And the third point is that we're a US bank. So as I mentioned earlier, so US bank is not participating in CRS system. So this is one additional layer of your privacy. And our bank data required by US government, by Federal Reserve. So all of our data is stored in US, so which is data about data security, right? Next one is we have various business solutions. So I already mentioned some of them. So like the Union Pay card. So this is not offered by every US banks. We have Union card. We also have a Visa card as well. So we can do some like the Chinese yuan exchange. All those functions are best for clients, for those clients with business in China. The last one, we do offer industry-leading customer service. As I mentioned earlier, not all those offshore bank accounts do provide good client services. We're different because our team are in Asia, right? So in Hong Kong, in mainland China, in Singapore, and we do offer one-on-one relationship manager. So basically, if you have any questions on your transaction, on the fees, on whatever questions, you can always find someone you can talk to. So that's I think that's 5 features for why you should bank with us. Hopefully that solves your questions. Yeah, that's pretty much of my presentation. So if you have any inquiries, you can always contact us or contact the AsiaBC. Also, we can provide to this group of audience some incentives. So the top three applicants for our bank. So we're going to give you additional $150 voucher here, and I think AsiaBC have some other incentives they will mention later on. But this is a really nice deal.